Okay, we are live. Let's just make sure I am not too wonky. Okay, so before I start, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has welcomed me back with open arms to Facebook. I know that you all wanted me to come back, and loads of you were asking me to come back. And I was hesitant to come back, but also I was ready to come back. And that has just been confirmed from the amount of love I've had from you all. I've had invites to come and speak in your groups, speak in your programs. And that really helps me with my mission to share my message with the world and to help more people. So thank you so much. I just want to start with some gratitude and just say a huge thank you for the love I've received coming back on this platform. I also might not have yet added everyone who I was connected with before. I used to have loads more friends before, so please do share with your friends. Please tag your friends, because I, like, all the time I'm remembering people and I'm connecting with those on Instagram that I'm friends with on Facebook. So please do remind me if there's someone I'm not yet connected back with, or tag them in my page if you think that this will resonate with them. So yeah, firstly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for the warm welcome that I've had since coming back on Facebook. It has just been incredibly supportive, so thank you. So what we're going to talk about today, and this is going to be relatively free-flowing, so please feel free to ask me any questions as we go, and I'll answer your questions. If you're watching the replay, say hi, let me know you're watching the replay, let me know where in the world you're watching from. I'd love to know who is watching and where you are in the world. And yeah, I'm going to kind of free flow with this today. So if there's any specific questions that you have, then let me know. Okay, just checking that we are properly live on the laptop. Okay, so neurodiversity, our gifts, our shadows, and why energy clearing is important is what I want to talk about today. Now, neurodiversity has become a bit of a buzzword recently, which I think is a fantastic thing. I think anything that helps us align more authentically to ourselves is a great thing, and I will tell you why. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story. So for those of you who don't know me, or refresh for those who do, I spent about 32 years of my life feeling like I was weird, feeling like I was different, feeling like I didn't fit in the world, and not really understanding why. When I was a child, I was bullied. I was also bullied in the 15-year corporate career that I had as well. And those bullyings just helped to confirm the belief that there must be something wrong with me, because I always felt weird and different, therefore there must be something wrong. Until I realised actually there was a lot right, and this took a lot of work on myself. So I think firstly, this kind of focus in on neurodivergence at the moment is a really great thing, because if we can connect even more fully, whether we're neurodivergent or not, to our most authentic selves. When I've done market research and I've worked with hundreds of clients, this is the number one thing that comes up, is authenticity. So anything that is not working fully, is not in alignment, people not meeting their goals, people not manifesting, it is because somewhere along the way you are not in alignment. You're not in alignment with your authentic self, with your soul self, with who you came to this planet to be, until all the shadows and conditioning and energies that you picked up got in the way. So I wanted to start by saying this, that I think this is super important that we're talking about this. And what I will share is a little bit about my background in this. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm an energy alignment coach. I'm an accredited coach with the ICF, and I use a combination of science and spiritual tools. So I have a background in positive psychology, and I know a lot about the brain and neuroscience and psychology. That's kind of my background, my bag. Then in 2018, I had this dramatic awakening where I had very high levels of anxiety. trying to fit in with the world. I was trying to keep up. I was working in London. I was doing the hustle thing. I was running my business on the side. And I had this dramatic awakening, and it helped me to realise, after getting help and support and having these new levels of awarenesses, that I was just very sensitive, and I was a highly sensitive person, and that I was neurodivergent, and that my brain worked differently to everyone else. And I ended up very much in the shadow side of this. So, and I think I had to go through this. I think some of us go through these phases where I was very much in the shadow, and I was, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why am I so sensitive? And I even went on a bit of a path, because I'm obsessed with personal development. I even went on a bit of a path and journey to try and heal my sensitivities. Oh, it must be trauma, that must be trauma, that must be trauma. And I went on this path and journey, and I healed a lot. I did a lot of shadow work. So I'm a lot calmer now. I don't have those same emotional reactions that I did have. But what has stayed with me is my sensitivity. And I feel for a lot of us, and I feel this resurgence of, not even a resurgence, maybe it is a resurgence of neurodiversity, and talking about neurodiversity in a way, if we're not careful, can come with a lot of this shadow. Okay, so I am this label, and therefore I need these special considerations to be made for me, because the world does this to me, people do this to me. This was very much the space that I was in. I'm too sensitive, I can't do that. I even had that reflected back to me. So when I told a friend that I was applying for TEDx, this was like back end of 2018, and they said to me, but you're really sensitive. Are you sure you want to go and speak on stage right now when you're experiencing all of this anxiety? And thankfully my inner voice came in and went, yes, hell yeah, I need to be on that stage, because a lot of people out there that need to hear this message. But it's very easy to be in that shadow, and I'm seeing a lot of that shadow at the moment. I'm too sensitive to do this. I've got this condition, so I can't do this. But there are some gifts in those shadows, and that's really important, is that we go into the gift side of the shadows. So a lot of us can come out of this victim stage. Hi Anna, thanks for watching, how you doing? We can come out of this stage, and we can come into looking at the gifts of the shadow. So when I looked at the gifts of the shadow side of my sensitivities, it was like, wow, I can read a room. I get on a discovery call with a client. I know exactly what's going on for them. I intuitively feel it. I might not always share it in that moment, but usually the conversation progresses and they then share with me. And this is an incredible gift, okay? But for us to transmute our shadows into our gifts, we need to be able to create boundaries around our gifts. So boundaries. I pulled a boundaries card this morning from the Rose Oracle. Boundaries are so important for us, and so is energy clearing for neurodivergence, because we are incredibly gifted. We've come to this planet, especially as sensitives, we've come to this planet to feel everything, and we then need to do that work on ourselves, firstly to clear out and do shadow work, do trauma work, which is what the lovely Anna does, who's watching, to clear out those things that are just, conditioning and traumas and beliefs about ourselves and our sensitivities. So as I shared with you earlier, like that victim mode of like, I'm too sensitive, I can't do X, Y, Z because I've got this, and I'm hearing this a lot at the moment. But by doing that inner work, we can transmute that into gifts. So I know deeply that I've got those gifts, and I'm here to share those gifts. And when we set boundaries, we allow ourselves, we create a structure for us to fully come out into the world and express and share those gifts. So some of the gifts of being sensitive, as I said, I can feel a room. I can know exactly what's going on for a client. I'm an amazing intuitive coach, like for that reason, because I can feel it so deeply, because I have that deep level of empathy. But it's really, really important that we use our gifts in the way that they are designed, not with this shadow of like codependence. And for a lot of us, we can get into this codependent state with our sensitivities where I'm feeling everything, therefore it must be my responsibility, or it must be my fault. Like this was something I used to do, like, oh, it must be my fault, like what I'm feeling, it must be about me, which is quite a lot of ego coming in there, right? Either it's my fault, or because I feel it, I have to fix it. And this is one of the most common shadows that we need to transmute, which is like, just because I feel it doesn't mean I have to fix it. And this is where we come in with our incredible gifts, and our mission is bigger than this. Our mission is actually about, okay, we can feel it all, and we're going to use those gifts in a way that is of service to the collective as a whole, not trying to fix one person or a group of people, or maybe your family, or, you know. And secondly, you're here to be paid for your gift. So if you are not being paid for your intuitive gifts, then there are some boundaries that you need to put in place. There is some codependency that you need to fix to transmute that shadow, so that you are in the place of sharing your gifts and using these incredible gifts and your incredible light coming through in the world. Another big shadow that we need to transmute, which again is a bit of a past life thing for us, is the witch wound. Like, so many of us feel that we can't share our gifts, we can't possibly share that we're spiritual. I had this recently on LinkedIn. I was like, I can't possibly share that I'm spiritual on LinkedIn, like not on that platform. And I had to do some work around that, because we're all ultimately human. Being spiritual is being human, and having consciousness and having conscious awareness is being human. And I can't go back to dulling my light anymore. I can't go back to not being authentic. That's just not me. So yeah, we really have to transmute these shadows. I'm just going to check my notes if there's anything else that I really wanted to share with you today. Yeah, so transmuting these shadows enables us to step into the gifts of our neurodiversity, and whatever that might be, and also to express our needs about what we need for those gifts to come forward. So I was having a conversation yesterday with a person that I'm going to be running an event with next year, and I just found my throat opening, and I just found myself saying, because I am sensitive, this is how I will need to approach this event. Therefore, you'll then get the best out of me. My intuitive gifts will be online. I'll be able to feel the room. I'll be intuitive coaching, and I will need this, this, and this to do it. And this is what I did in my TEDx. So I explained to the person, you know, you'll be surprised to know that actually I sat in the car for a lot of the day on my TEDx and meditated to get myself in that most optimal position for my energy to be on that stage. I didn't go to the networking meal afterwards, even though people were saying, you're so crazy, there's all these celebrities there, you're going to miss out. I was like, no, I know I'm going to need recharge time. And I did. After being on that stage in front of 23,000 people watching online and offline, there was no way I was going to that networking meal, even though there were loads of celebrities there. So a little bit of FOMO came in, but actually, in terms of that bigger vision, it was like, no, I need to take absolute care of myself. And this stuff goes beyond self-care. So I always talk about this going beyond self-care. And what does that really mean? It means that we need to go above and beyond the basics. This is not about bubble baths. This is not about meditation. This is about the moment-to-moment steps that we take to be in our most highest vibrant expression of ourselves in any given moment, because that is how we are truly going to use our gifts. That is how our unique gifts are going to come out when we're in that moment, when we're in our mostly divinely feminine expressed version of ourselves. So energy clearing is really important as well, so I'm going to talk about that. And I am excited to announce that my quantum healing sessions are now officially open for booking, and these will help you as a neurodivergent or as a neurotypical, even just for the energy that we pick up. And this clears stuff from past lives, current lives, things that we've picked up, even energy, you know, energy we're picking up day to day as well. It helps with, I shared recently, I healed my vision with it. Recently I went to the opticians, my eyes had improved because there was energy that was coming in and affecting my sight. I've done womb healings, relationship healings, food intolerances, energetic clearings on the business, abundance blocks. There's some incredible things that we can do with this. If you'd like to know more about that, let me know. I'll also pop the link below for booking. And this is super important because of this gift of feeling everything, we can also pick up energy. So as much as we even say, like, I've really got my boundaries in place and I'm not picking up, you know, I'm just not available for that shit. That's kind of what I was going around saying sometimes, just not available for that shit. But there can be things that we've picked up from past lives and we're still carrying through. So that's why energy clearing is really, really important. And thanks, Anna. Thanks for joining. That is why energy clearing is so important, because it doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything. So I know when I was very much in the shadow side of my I've got itchy nose, that's so annoying. In the shadow side of my sensitivities, I was like, oh my god, why this? Why am I not feeling this? Blah 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 blah. Whereas if you just go, it's okay, I'm sensitive, picked up some energy, I'm just gonna clear it. Okay, this is super, super important. And we go into dramatizing it, which is where I was in victim mode. I'm so sensitive, why am I picking up everything? Why this? I must have more trauma, blah blah blah. Or we deny it and we go, not available for this, nah, not my reality, no, I'm not really feeling that, and we go into denial. But where we want to be is that divine alchemy in the middle of, like, there's no drama, I'm sensitive, I'll pick up energy, I'm just going to clear it, okay? And that played out for me this weekend, actually. So I received the message to create some space in the spare room, which leads into my office. Corin and I put up a wardrobe, I cleared some things away in the space, cleared some energy, and a client popped in on Sunday night. So this, like, I just can't deny the magic of this stuff and how it happens. So it's really simple. We just need to clear the energy out. So if you would like a quantum healing session with me, which is my new modality that I've been learning, which helps to clear your energy, and this comes on the basis, so in the new paradigm and where we're at right now, is that some energies need to be named to be cleared. So we can't just say, like, oh, anything of love and light only here, because the stuff that needs to be named will still stick around. So what I will do with you is work through those layers and connect into the different grids and the different things that we need to clear from your energy, your aura, your body, your energy, your business, your money blocks. We clear that specifically by naming it. So these things do need to be named to be cleared, okay? And this is why I did this training, because I've not had this deep level of clearing. I've not experienced this deep level of clearing before. I was doing, you know, the high level entity clearings through access consciousness, but this takes it to that deeper level and names specifically and clears stuff off you that you may not have even known that is there, especially if it was, you know, past life thing, or some stuff that you've picked up maybe from others, that I have to be really careful about what I say here, but others who've maybe made different health choices to you, and things that are in their energy. If you're going and being in their energy, you're picking that up, and we can clear that off as well. Ask me about that. I can't share that fully on here without getting into trouble. And then lastly, I want to talk about positive psychology, because this is my bread and butter. This is my grounding. These are my roots of the tree. I'm noticing I'm hitting Rebecca plant quite a lot as I'm talking today as well. These are the roots of our tree. We need to have positive psychology practices in place. If we haven't got the basic neuroscience right, and we haven't got the habits right in our lives as those grounded roots, then we can't go up and start to work in the quantum field, start to work with energy, and we'll just be clearing all the time if we haven't got those grounded roots, those boundaries, those protection, and that positive resilience in place. So this is also how positive psychology can help with us being neurodivergent, because especially if we're sensitive, a lot of the time we're on the back foot. Our fight or flight mechanisms are, just neuroscientifically, our fight or flight mechanisms are likely to be triggered because we've simply just got more sensory receptors in our brain. That's all it is. We've got more sensory receptors in the brain. So we're more likely to trigger that fight or flight reaction. And positive psychology helps us because when we flood the brain with feel-good hormones and positive emotions, we start to shut down that fight or flight mechanism. So this is causing us to have resilience, so that, you know, when we go somewhere and we're feeling overwhelmed, we're going to feel that overwhelm on a much less level. We're going to be much less likely to be emotionally triggered because we've got that positive resilience in place in our brain. So this is not about like dancing around and being, I mean, I love dancing, don't get me wrong. This is not about dancing around and being happy clappy as some kind of like smiley face sticker over your neurodiversity. This is about some real hardcore brain science, which helps you to shut down that fight or flight mode, to be less reactive. So I can still, you know, I can still be super sensitive and have my sensitive gifts in a situation, but I can feel it without being triggered. I can feel it without that fight or flight mode coming in. That's what we're doing with the positive psychology. So, as a recap of the things that we've talked about today, we need to move from the shadow side of our neurodiversity into the gifts. So, you know, moving from that victim mode, why me, why am I so sensitive, why is my brain so chaotic, why is this being done to me, why can't I fit into the world, which is where I used to be at, into the gifts, okay? And it's by doing that deep inner work. And if you need some support, like, reach out to me, doing that deep inner work and doing that shadow work to transmute those shadows so that they can come into gifts. And this also comes into boundaries as well, setting our boundaries so that we can be of service in the world. We can't be of service to the world if we are full of everyone else's energy, if we're trying to fix everyone, if we're codependent. We have to, it is our mission on the world, it is bigger than us. We have to set those boundaries in place to enable our gifts to come out, because that is why we're here, that is why we have these gifts. So it's about transmuting from the shadow and the codependence into those boundaries, and also being the sensitive rebel as well. Like, let me know, like, in comments, who here is a sensitive rebel? Like, you feel it all and then you want to be rebellious and you want to do something different and you want to make a difference to the world with what you're feeling. If you're feeling that, then these boundaries are so important, because you're here to do that mission, you're here to be that sensitive rebel, but to do that you need to be that most fully expressed version of you. And then positive psychology, as I've said, positive psychology is so important because we're creating that positive resilience to really truly be able to step into our gifts and create that space where we're in less overwhelm, less triggered, and we can truly step into and use that energy, that rebellious energy that we all feel inside to, you know, I use that energy to stand on stage and speak at TEDx, using that energy and that fire within me to want to make a difference in the world. When we've got those boundaries in place, rather than that energy being used on like, oh, why me, I'm overwhelmed, we can use that energy in a forward momentum and taking those forward steps to actually make a difference with our gifts. And then lastly, energy clearing, which is so important, and that is why I have trained in quantum healing, because in this new paradigm there are certain energies that do need to be named to be cleared. There will be blocks, there will be things from past lives, things from this life, things that we've picked up or picked up from others within our body, our energy, our aura, our health, our finances, that do need to be named to be cleared. So this is what the quantum healing sessions are all about. This is the most comprehensive level, and a lot of clients at the moment are working with me doing a combination of both coaching and clearing. So we're clearing off at the energetic level, and then in the coaching that gives you the opportunity to be coached around your shadows, your mindset, and really do that deep inner work that comes hand in hand with the clearing. So I will pop the link below for and I can't believe I'm also doing this at this crazy offer as well. So as an introduction to these quantum healing sessions, I am offering them, if you book for before the end of April, they are at an introductory offer at the moment of just £88. I know this is insane. This is what Source told me to do. I tuned in and I asked, and I was told 88, and this is for up to 90 minutes of clearing, and we keep going until it's done and we clear off all those layers. So I will pop the link below for those sessions. If you would like to combine them with some coaching, please let me know. You will receive a bulk discount. If you are in my Soulfully Aligned VIP, you will get these clearings as standard. They are included as part of the membership, as part of working with me one-to-one, and I've seen some incredible magic happen. So myself, I've healed my vision, my eyes improved after I'd been clearing the energy that was in my vision. Someone called me a spiritual osteopath the other day. They just felt like everything had clicked into place for them. Improved relationships, like less triggering in relationships, better sleep, things just flowing in the business, and just like I just get that feeling when I clear myself using this method. I just get that feeling that everything's okay. It's literally like, oh, I can breathe. Everything is okay. And I hadn't even realized before I did this that I had this like running program that like everything was not okay. It was like, something's not okay, like I'm not okay, I have to be on edge, like something's not okay. Never really quite knew what it was, and it was simply just entities and attachments. And as soon as I cleared those off, I was back in alignment, I was back into my authentic truth. So it can just help us to kind of start to feel that flow and get that flow again. So I will pop the link below. There's a limited amount of spots. They are first come, first served. If you have worked with me in Shine Academy or Quantum Alignment, you have an additional discount on top of this as well. I know I am just going crazy for the month of April. So I have sent you a message about that separately. Don't miss out on that. Reply to my message and I will pop the link below. And once they're gone, they're gone. I'm so excited to do this work for you, and thank you so much again for your love and support that you have shown me with me being back on Facebook. Honestly, it's just been the best thing ever. So many invites to come and speak in groups, speak on programs, and yeah, I feel truly honoured and blessed to be back. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, pop your questions below and I will come back to them afterwards. Sending you all lots of love.